and welcome to Horror Rewind. This is Kelly Florence.
And I'm Meg Hofdahl.
And today we're talking about horror on TV. Meg, we were saying last week how there's so much content and it's hard to keep up, but I am happy that we were able to finish the first season of Chucky, no spoilers, which the finale aired last week. It's been picked up for season 2.
Yay!
We both have been starting the new season, no spoilers, of Dexter.
Mm-hmm.
And we watched something that came out recently. I Know What You Did Last Summer. We're not going to spoil any of these, but wow, what a time to be alive.
I know. Like, if you had told me, I wouldn't have believed you. There's so many. Well, I mean, like, I can't fathom that there's more Dexter. And yeah, I mean, Chucky, like, I don't understand how this is all happening, but it feels like the horror fans are like, we're getting our time. What a time to be alive.
Yes. And so those 3 things that we mentioned, we're going to talk about each of them spoiler free, but all brought back from the dead, so to speak. And then there's also a new horror show that I've been watching, and it's called Yellow Jackets.
Oh,
also
yeah.
on Showtime. And
It looks good.
I think, is it Karan Kusama? I think
really?
directed the first episode. I got to look this up so I'm not wrong now. But yeah, it's been surprisingly addictive. So I am highly recommending that at this point.
It looks, well, like the trailers or the commercials they've been showing before Dexter, it looks so good because it's like so female driven. Like, I didn't see one man in the commercial, and I'm like, and it just looks interesting. So I'm definitely going to give that a try.
And I know we talked about this last week too, about just people looking real and looking their age. And this isn't a spoiler, but they're going between timelines. And so you see these people who were teens in the 90s, like now, and they look like, they look like real people. So I appreciate that.
Well, that's nice. I mean, it's sad that we have to like be excited about that, but because it's rare, but that's nice. Yeah, I'm very curious to watch that. I saw it has Christina Ricci in it, right?
Yeah.
And does it have
Juliette Lewis?
Juliette Lewis, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, okay, Karan Kusama directed an episode. Awesome. So anyway.
Oh, she's great. Okay, so I want to talk about Dexter. I'm not going to spoil any new Dexter for people. Although, I mean, at this point, like, get on it, people. But I'm watching old Dexter and new Dexter at the same time, so it's really fun. I recommend it. I don't know how far into the old... Okay, I'll call it Dexter and New Blood. I don't know how far into Dexter I'm going to go just because the last couple seasons weren't the best. But right now I'm like in prime. Like, I just started season 2. And Dexter looks like a baby, and everyone looks like a baby. Oh, Cookie. And
that was a dog. Yes.
Yeah.
Not a ghoul.
Not me. And it's actually, it kind of just makes me like more excited about New Blood. I went into New Blood with like really low expectations, which I think, as we've talked about many times, expectations have a lot to do with how we feel. So I'm enjoying it because I'm just sort of taking it for what it is. I'm not, necessarily comparing, even though I'm watching them at the same time. How about you? What kind of expectations did you go into it with?
Well, this is coming from someone, we didn't even watch the last 2 seasons because I think we started the second to last season and then we dropped off and we just never came back.
Yeah.
But no, it's fine. Like, we've been talking about going back and watching those, but maybe we shouldn't. Those last 2 seasons, I don't know. But we went in just with like, okay, let's see. I guess that's low expectations, and we have been enjoying it, and it's fun to again see. I'm not going to spoil it, but see where everyone's at this point.
Yes. What I will say is, for the first 2 episodes, I just had convinced myself that they were in Alaska for some reason.
I just thought they were in Alaska too.
And then in the 3rd episode, they're like talking, they're in New York.
No, I
They're in
know.
New York.
We were convinced they were in Alaska too.
Yeah.
I don't know
I was like,
why.
what? I don't know why either. I was just like, I was
I guess,
absolutely convinced.
I guess
But
when you see that much snow and like somebody chopping wood, it's like, well, they can't possibly be anywhere but Alaska.
I know, like he's living in a log cabin. I mean, give me a break. So anyway, so that was a big shock and twist. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to say too much, but I'm really enjoying seeing the character again. I smiled a lot the first episode when like I was kind of remembering why I loved Dexter to begin with.
Right.
And
Yeah,
going back,
I'm rooting for him to kill bad guys is all I'll say.
Of course, like we were watching last night, we were catching up and I was like, Dexter's gonna take out the trash because I love it. So I'd love to hear what other people think. I know my friend Caitlin on Twitter, she said she wasn't loving it. So I don't know. People have their own opinions, but I think here's what I'll say. I think that Dexter in its time was a pretty diverse show. And I think they brought that again. And I think they know what we loved about Dexter, which is creating a world, not just him, but a world around him and like a good setting and good characters around him. And I think they've done that again, is what I'll say.
I agree. And yeah, it's fun. We enjoy watching it every week. We look forward to it. So another show that we both watched in the horror realm is this. It's not a reboot. It's not a remake. It's its own thing. I Know What You Did Last Summer. I went in not knowing what to expect. So I'm like, oh, it's probably going to be like a similar plot. And it is in a way. I'm not going to spoil it, but it is wildly different. And I know we have a mutual friend who went through the journey of like, I think this show is trash. And then actually I love this show. And then after the finale was like, maybe it is trash again. And so I watched it with Campbell and we went through, we enjoyed it the entire time.
Yeah.
But all I'll say is they throw a lot of information at you in the finale, the final episode. And maybe because they're not going to get picked up or they didn't know if they would, but that one felt a little bit too much information.
Yeah. So I think that, so first of all, I am not a huge fan of the movie. I know that some people might be mad at me, but it's just not my favorite. So it was interesting to see how the tone was so different and like, which was fine for me because again, I'm not like a purist about the original. But this tone is a lot more serious. But I really appreciated how complicated the characters were. I thought it was interesting how they talk like teenagers and like there were a lot of words that I was like, what does that mean, Cookie? And they like say sus like my kids do. So that was funny. It was one of those shows that was like, oh wait, maybe I'm old. But I thought it was written well. I think the pacing, I agree. I think there were times where it was going a little bit too slow. And then it was like info dump at the end. That being said, like I had to get up this morning and finish it because I had watched the last couple of days and I was like, it's so compelling and you have to know what's going on. It's like I had to know. So I mean, that all that being said, like I really enjoyed it. I agree the end was like you just need the end because you want to know what's happening, and it's satisfying in a different way than maybe I was expecting.
Yeah.
And it kind of things go in ways you don't necessarily, that aren't traditionally how you might think they go. And that's not necessarily bad. So I enjoyed the heck out of it. I think too, it's just like any good horror. We were talking about this when we talked about Squid Game. When you put yourself into the position of the characters and like, what would you do? What would you do if someone you knew did this, and would you help them hide it? What if you did this? Would you, it's just all of that. Yes.
It gets you thinking and empathizing, and that makes for good storytelling.
It does. And I mean, they really put you in that position of, oh my gosh, is it him? Is it her? You know, oh, and the gore was great. Love the
Mhm.
gore. I mean, it was serious.
Oh, and I
And
love the setting too. It's set in Hawaii, which
oh,
is
yes.
awesome.
It was so awesome. And not like resort Hawaii, but like real Hawaii. And I
Yeah.
thought that was really cool. It wasn't like, you know, what kind of the touristy of Hawaii. It was like real Hawaii. So yeah, I really, really liked that. And I thought that they did a good job making all the characters like it kind of was like Cruel Summer, where it's like you don't know who you trust, you don't know who you like this person for a while, then you don't like this person for a while. You know, it's throwing you all these different wrenches, but that makes for like really fun and compelling storytelling. I agree.
A couple of non-horror things that we've been watching. I right before Dexter, we watched Succession. And I know it's not horror, but I freaking love this show so much. You don't have to watch it, Meg, but just know that I live for it every week. And then we both watch Curb every Sunday too. We've
Oh
got so many
well,
shows on Sundays now.
we have to watch Curb. There are a lot of shows. You know, I know nobody wants to hear about dreams, but real quick, I have to tell you that I had a dream that you and Mark finally convinced me to watch Succession. And it was, I didn't realize until you in the dream had me watch it that it was actually like 3D real life. Like you go into the episode and I'm like, why haven't I watched this yet?
Wow.
So it was really good because I was
Maybe
like,
that means it's gonna blow you
session.
away when you finally watch it.
Yeah, I think that's what my subconscious was trying to tell me.
No, I'm looking forward to Sunday nights. And you know, there is very rarely appointment television for me anymore.
Yeah.
But like Sunday nights, we definitely watch TV live, you know.
Well, I would agree, but we tried watching Dexter live a couple Sundays ago, and the kids just kept coming in to say 8,000 things, and we were
Oh,
like, never mind, we're not gonna
yeah.
we're just gonna watch it when they're actually like in bed because this is annoying. So yeah, maybe we need to like have really strict rules enforced. Maybe that's it.
You know,
No Rome.
I didn't think about it before, but maybe that's part of the reason why we don't have appointment TV anymore is because it's literally
Yeah.
like kids are awake and we didn't used to have kids.
I know, right? I mean, I think for us, that's what it is. Cause like we get really annoyed when they come in and they have, well, we were watching it on the Showtime app and I couldn't pause it. And they're like,
Oh,
blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, get out of there. So I'm thankful for TiVo for all the things that, you know, make it so that we can watch things when we want to watch it, when it's quiet. Thank goodness. I mean, we used to watch Dexter like on DVDs from like Netflix
yeah,
DVD when they'd send them.
that's true.
You will when you go back and watch Dexter because Michael C. Hall he was actually like 2 years younger than me, I think, when he started doing Dexter. And your mortality is going to really like come into focus when you go back and watch that and then go back and then watch him in New Blood. It's like, oh my
Wow.
God, wasn't that because it felt like it was 5 minutes ago in some ways.
Well, yeah. And then after that, because someone on Twitter said the show that has the best finale ever is 6 Feet Under. So then I went back and watched that. And he looked like even more of a baby because he was.
Oh, baby.
But also, I recommend that show. And it does have the best finale ever. So,
all right, I got to get my act together and watch that too. But I'm trying to just keep up with what's happening now. It's hard to
I
go
know.
back.
I know.
But I guess I'm rewatching Dexter, so I need to stop with my excuses.
But also, if there was a show that you would be into, it would be about this family running a mortuary, Meg. And
Yeah,
every episode, you get to see a gory death or like a different death.
No, I'm sold.
They're not all
and
gory.
I did go back I did go back and watch Michael C. Hall and Adam Scott make out though.
Oh, we'll see.
I have seen those scenes.
You're halfway there. Just kidding. Okay, friends. I don't know what you're watching on TV. I don't know what I'm watching anymore. We told you a few things, but I'm watching so much. It's ridiculous.
Well, and I've become and we talk about this all the time, but like I don't know actors' names anymore. Like Julie Bowen was on Curb Your Enthusiasm the other day, and like I kept thinking her name was Julie Benz from Dexter, and I like just couldn't get her name. And then finally she was on the Today Show like yesterday, and they said her name, and I was like, oh thank fuck. I could have looked it up obviously, but I guess in my old age I forgot she existed. And you know,
It's happening. It's happening.
I know. It's just like on, okay, they keep saying murked on I Know What You Did Last Summer. It must mean murder or like kill or something. They kept saying murked. Somebody's coming to murk us. I'm going to get murked.
I have no idea. I don't even know.
I'm glad I'm not alone. And she says tea. She says tea when like right or like okay or something, or you're right. She'll say TEA. Margot. Yes. I'm like, what's happening?
Oh boy. I saw a TikTok. I saw somebody tearing apart the new Mindy Kaling show because the characters don't speak like teenagers speak or college students speak. And it's like,
oh Lord.
I guess we need to go infiltrate.
I need to go watch that. I probably understand their references.
Yeah. We're old. It's fine. We'll figure it out.
It's fine.
But also we can write about people our age.
That's true. You know what? Carrie Elwes and Brooke Shields got to have a love story. So
yeah. And they didn't say T or Merc. Or sus.
Or sus.
Carrie Elwes was like, this seems kind of sus.
Oh my God. That would be the literal Steve Buscemi, like fellow kids meme. All right.
Well, listen, we're going to be back next week. Next week is Christmas Eve, the day after our episode. And so we're going to talk about another holiday movie that we watched lately. So until next time, we'll see you in the horror section.
Bye.